Some games come pretty damn close to perfection, but others set the gold standard for what a flawless game should actually be. These 15 titles didn't just achieve greatness, they redefined gaming itself. What if your enemies didn't just hate you, but remembered every time you ruined their day? Shadow of Mordor introduces the Nemesis system, where orc captains hold grudges, making every encounter personal. When you defeat one, they'll return scarred, determined to get their revenge. When you lose to one, they'll rise through the ranks, ensuring your next battle is even more intense. Turns out, even orcs deserve character development. In Tolkien's world, you play as Talion, a ranger resurrected by Celebrimbor, an ancient wraith. This isn't about the Fellowship of the Ring. It's about dismantling Sauron's war machine through brutal combat and personal vendettas. While it takes liberties with Tolkien's lore, the game delivers a gripping tale of vengeance and defiance. Shadow of Mordor combines its Nemesis system with exhilarating combat and a dynamic world, marking it as a 10 out of 10 must-play game. What if paradise became a prison? In Bioshock, the underwater city of Rapture is a crumbling monument to ambition gone wrong. Meant to be a haven for the free and brilliant, it's now overrun by deranged splicers, lumbering big daddies, and enough existential dread to last a lifetime. This isn't your average first-person shooter. Sure, you've got guns, but Bioshock gives you plasmids, genetic powers that let you set enemies on fire, electrocute them in water, or sick a swarm of bees on their faces. Because if you're going to fight for survival, why not make it entertaining? And then, there's the story. Bioshock doesn't just tell a tale, it drags you into one. Let's just say you'll think twice about following polite requests ever again. But hey, speaking of politeness, if you're enjoying the video so far, would you kindly subscribe to the channel? Critically acclaimed for its storytelling, atmosphere, and innovative gameplay, Bioshock remains a landmark in gaming. It's a descent into the depths of ambition, control, and human fragility. This is a game that demands to be experienced. Few games balance heart-wrenching storytelling with stealth-driven gameplay, like A Plague Tale: Requiem. Set in plague-ravaged medieval France, you follow Amicia and her younger brother Hugo as they navigate a brutal world teeming with death and rats. So many rats. This sequel stands out for its emotional depth. Amicia's fierce protectiveness and Hugo's evolving powers form a bond that pulls you through the bleakest moments. Every choice feels personal, raising the stakes as their journey unfolds. Gameplay combines stealth, puzzles, and tense encounters with human and inhuman foes. The swarm mechanics, thousands of rats moving in horrifying unison, are a technical marvel and nightmare fuel. It's not for the faint-hearted, but the white-knuckle tension is worth it. With stunning visuals and a lingering story, this outstanding game cements its place as a modern classic. A game that captivates, devastates, and leaves a mark in all the right ways. What happens when you combine a grizzled smuggler, a snarky teenager, and mushroom zombies out for blood? You get The Last of Us Remastered, a gut punch of a game that'll leave you emotionally scarred in the best way. And if the story doesn't break you, the sound of a clicker's raspy death rattle definitely will. This remaster doesn't just polish the graphics, it breathes new life into an already iconic experience. Joel and Ellie's journey through a collapsing world isn't just about survival, it's about clinging to hope when everything else is gone. And that hope, it's barely hanging on most of the time. Every bullet matters here, and every encounter feels like life or death, because it is. The enhanced visuals amplify the devastation, from nature reclaiming abandoned streets to the haunting expressions in the characters' eyes. With over 200 Game of the Year awards, this isn't just a game, it's a masterpiece. If you've missed this iconic game, fix that and bring tissues. Cyberpunk 2077 was one of the most anticipated games in gaming history, and one of the most infamous launches. But once the dust settled and the bugs were ironed out, it became something extraordinary. At the heart of the experience is Night City. Every corner of this dystopian playground reflects CD Projekt Red's unparalleled attention to detail. It's no exaggeration to say this might be one of the most ambitious open-world settings ever created. Cyberpunk's ability to seamlessly integrate branching storylines without compromising the main plot is impressive, something most games only dream of. And Johnny Silverhand, voiced by none other than Keanu Reeves, is a masterstroke of character design. He's equal parts guide, antagonist, and reluctant friend, giving the game a layer of emotional complexity few titles can match. It's hard not to admire the sheer resilience of this game. After a pretty rocky start, it's clear the developers poured their hearts into redemption. The updates didn't just fix bugs, they refined combat, reworked mechanics, and added layers of polish that transformed this game into the masterpiece it was meant to be. Today, it stands as a shining example of how an industry can learn from its mistakes. Cyberpunk proves that sometimes, second chances are all you need to make a game perfect. If indie games were measured by ambition alone, Hollow Knight would sit on the throne. This hand-drawn Metroidvania invites you into Hallownest, a hauntingly beautiful, forgotten kingdom teeming with secrets, sorrow, and bugs that'll make you appreciate pest control. Its deceptively simple art style conceals a sprawling labyrinth of interconnected areas begging to be explored. Every new ability opens pathways you didn't know existed, making discovery feel genuinely earned. The battles demand precision and adaptability. Boss fights and enemy encounters are tough but fair, rewarding patience and skill over brute force. Each hit and every mistake feels significant, adding to the tension and satisfaction of every victory. What truly makes Hollow Knight perfect is its atmosphere. The eerie soundtrack and minimalist storytelling create an emotional depth that stays with you. Every note and detail feels deliberate, proving you don't need a massive budget to craft a masterpiece. No pause menus, no second chances. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, does not care about your comfort zone. From Software tossed out traditional RPG elements and focused entirely on precision combat. Surviving isn't enough. Mastery of every clash and parry is your only way forward. Set in a mythic Sengoku-era Japan, you play as Wolf, a shinobi tasked with rescuing your kidnapped lord and avenging those who wronged you. Every encounter is a duel, every mistake a death sentence. Sekiro demands patience, timing, and complete mastery of its mechanics, with battles that feel like puzzles, where each perfectly timed sword strike is its own reward. The world is both beautiful and deadly, with lush bamboo forests, snowy peaks, and grotesque enemies inspired by Japanese folklore. Beneath the blood-soaked combat lies a poignant tale of loyalty and redemption. Why does Sekiro deserve its perfect score? It redefines action gaming by pairing punishing difficulty with unparalleled satisfaction, leaving you with a sense of accomplishment few games can match. Oh, and it took home 2019's Game of the Year for a reason. Few games have captured players' imaginations quite like Skyrim. Bethesda's sprawling RPG isn't just big, it's alive. Dragons rule the skies, caves tell their own stories, and every corner of the world feels like it's hiding a new adventure. Skyrim thrives on its attention to detail. NPCs have routines, towns bristle with personality, and every path feels like it could lead to treasure or a bandit ambush. Sure, there are glitches, but they've become part of the game's charm. The freedom to carve your own path is what truly sets Skyrim apart. Whether you're mastering magic, swordplay, or stealth, the game lets you shape your own story. Even years later, Skyrim stands tall as a benchmark for open-world RPGs. Its enduring legacy is kept alive by mods, re-releases, and the timeless core experience that still captivates. This game is an epic adventure that defines what a perfect 10 out of 10 game should feel like. What's more terrifying, Mongol invaders or tossing your honor aside to stop them? Ghost of Tsushima places you in Jin Sakai's sandals, a samurai torn between his code and the survival of his people. Neither choice is easy or bloodless. Tsushima is a visual masterpiece, with golden fields, haunting forests, and mountaintop shrines that feel more art gallery than battlefield. But don't let the stunning views fool you. There's always danger waiting to ruin your zen. The combat? It's every samurai fantasy come true. Whether you're clashing swords in epic duels or sneaking through shadows to take enemies out one by one, every fight feels intense and rewarding. Even the little things, like using the wind to guide your path, make the whole experience feel uniquely immersive. What makes this game so legendary is how effortlessly it blends art, gameplay, and narrative. It's a perfectly crafted journey that captures the soul of the samurai. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is what happens when a game checks every box and then throws in extra just to show off. This isn't just an RPG, it's a whole world that feels alive and unapologetically real. The world doesn't revolve around you, but your choices still shape it. Whether you're hunting werewolves, solving haunting mysteries, or getting dragged into random feuds, every interaction feels meaningful. It's not just about saving the day, it's about deciding whose day is worth saving. Swordplay and magic create a thrilling mix that keeps every encounter engaging. Need a break from slaying monsters? Gwent, the in-game card game, is so addictive it feels like its own standalone adventure. With jaw-dropping expansions, massive choice-driven quests, and stories that stick with you, The Witcher 3 doesn't just feel perfect, it redefines what an RPG can be. If you haven't played it yet, you're missing out on one of gaming's finest experiences. Elden Ring, where open world doesn't just mean big, it means unforgiving, mysterious, and endlessly rewarding. As the lowly tarnished, you're thrown into the lands between, a vast landscape where beauty and brutality coexist. And yes, it's designed to make you suffer. This isn't just another open world game, it's the Dark Souls formula expanded, combining From Software's signature difficulty with the freedom to explore, fight, or flee, probably flee. Every corner hides a secret, a devastating boss, or a cryptic story fragment. The combat is punishing yet precise, a true test of reflexes and determination. Mastering even a basic enemy feels like a triumph, and defeating a towering, screen-filling boss, pure euphoria. With Elden Ring, From Software doesn't just expand the Souls-like genre, it redefines it, setting a new standard for open-world RPGs. This is a game you'll keep thinking about long after your final death, and trust me, there will be plenty. If you've ever wanted to live in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign without arguing over snacks and dice rolls, Baldur's Gate 3 is your dream game. Every decision matters, every dialogue feels alive, and every bad dice roll makes you wish you'd stayed home. This game doesn't just let you roleplay, it dares you to break the mold. Charm a goblin? Go ahead, blow them up instead? Sure, why not? The world is yours to manipulate, destroy, or save, depending on how chaotic you're feeling that day. The sheer scope is mind-boggling. Quests have multiple solutions, characters hold grudges, and even seemingly small choices ripple into major consequences. And let's not forget the voice acting and motion capture, which make the cast feel like they walked off a movie set and into your monitor. Critical acclaim has been pouring in, and for good reason. Baldur's Gate 3 is a love letter to RPG fans, delivered with the kind of care and ambition that few developers even attempt anymore. Some games shout with flashy mechanics and explosions. Shadow of the Colossus whispers beautifully. This minimalist masterpiece centers on one goal: take down 16 towering colossi to save a loved one. Simple, not even close. Each colossus is both a puzzle and a battle. You're not just fighting, you're scaling massive, moving titans, figuring out their weaknesses while desperately clinging for survival. Every victory feels monumental and strangely hollow. The remaster for modern consoles amplifies the game's stark beauty. Barren, yet mesmerizing landscapes feel alive in their emptiness, while the colossi are awe-inspiring in both scale and design. It's less a traditional game and more a somber, interactive poem. Shadow of the Colossus proves games don't need extensive narratives or complicated systems to leave a lasting impact. Sometimes, simplicity and raw emotion are all it takes to create an unforgettable experience. This isn't the hand-holding Zelda of your childhood. It's Hyrule Unleashed, a sprawling world where curiosity drives everything, and the only limit is how far you're willing to go. Climb mountains just to see what's beyond. Tinker with the physics engine to solve puzzles in absurd ways. Is your weapon about to break? Smash a goblin one last time and take theirs. This game isn't about following instructions. It's about inventing your own path. Freedom isn't a feature, it's the point. Hyrule is a design masterpiece. Every corner feels incredibly alive. Even small details, like rain ruining your climb, add layers of realism that keep you on your toes. This game is beautiful. It's pretty much a moving watercolor painting. Timeless, stunning, and unforgettable. Breath of the Wild is an adventure that dares you to explore, live, and embrace the unpredictable. Red Dead Redemption 2 is what happens when a game studio decides to redefine ambitious while casually crushing your social life. Arthur Morgan is an outlaw in the twilight of the Wild West, clinging to the frayed edges of a world that no longer tolerates his kind. This isn't just another game, it's a living, breathing historical drama that sucks you in and makes sure you stay there. The detail is, well, absurd. Mud sticks to your boots, snow crunches under your feet, and even Arthur's horse develops a personality you'll feel oddly attached to, until it runs headfirst into a tree. Rockstar didn't just build a world, they built the world. Every campfire conversation, every weathered face in a saloon, adds to a story that feels deeply personal despite its enormous scale. But the heart of Red Dead 2 is Arthur's struggle. His moral dilemmas, loyalty to a crumbling gang, and moments of quiet reflection are the stuff of perfect 10 out of 10s. Whether you're hunting, fighting, or just trying to keep your camp fed, the game makes you earn every moment. It's an outlaw's journey that's as unforgiving as the frontier itself. And trust me, you won't want it to end.